so easy. Homicide, a maniac, crazy, a maniac, creeps on the nigga G-Eazy. Attitude problem where my niggas, they angry. He looks like a soldier. How did you know? Who would have told ya? Where did they go? Black like the sun at the end of an era. The movement of bodies affects me. Sins of the sons of the African love, child's murder, trauma affects me. And what the fuck did you mean? And where the fuck did you go? Human beings travel slow. My grandfather didn't know. Soldier, avert your eyes. How am I supposed to be proud of something that makes me cry? He's felt nothing, but he's upset. He wants closure, but he's not there yet. I want something to count on. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Rolling in pageants of black and blue. There's something to count on. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Pageants of black and blue. Ooh, I got the blues. Ooh, it's over you. Speaking the dialect of the blood of my loved ones, I spit on the grave of the dirt that I come from. 1,000 miles from the bay, round noses like my body weigh. My mother, a geyser like the heart of the mountains, twist and shake like murder. Blood in the fountain, its wake brings a heat I cannot take. But I know the stakes. I am detached, I am a soldier in a new land. The war is fought, the battle's planned, is bigger than a raised hand. Do you know the answer? The cause of all the war. Go to school, get an occupation, love the motherland, but don't leave your station. I'm a soldier. Avert your eyes. How am I supposed to be proud of something that makes me cry? He wants something, but he's upset. He wants closure, but he's not there yet.
So, late stage niggadom is about blackness at the end of the day. First generation blackness is sort of where I'm coming from. But it is about also, like, being black and male. Like, the whole black and blue sort of context is sort of to make these sort of juxtapositions, like, in sort of like the characterization of like a young black man who happens to be like first generation. The whole late stage aesthetic is supposed to be like the consuming power of the word nigga. Like, there's like a reclaiming that I know that has sort of happened in culture, and specifically in black culture, to say like, okay, nigga, like that's endearment. That's the struggle, that's the past, that's the present, that's the future. But it's like almost like the same thing with black, like this characterization that will always be in English in contrast to whiteness, purity, pureness, will always trip us up. Sort of that emotional back and forth, you know, is like sort of what's you're beating the shit out of us. while it's sort of liberating. And I think that's a whole Father Hotep vibe, sort of like coming to terms with, like, what I can ever be is like perfectly in line and tune with my culture, but still, or like find a sense of blackness that is like, it's cumulative. It means something in the scope of like a larger group of people. I feel like that's something that I've sort of learned, but only because of, really cool people in my life. So my creative process is, finding is always to the end of finding the medium between an instrumental piece of work and a lyrical experience. I think a lot of my work, especially like stuff that's hip hop, when I rap sounds like spoken word, because I love spoken word, but like there's this convention where we like just put a beat over it or like do something on this. I think my personal creative process is starting with a beat that I want to unify with. It's a lot of playing, and a lot of sometimes just dumbing things down, taking away layers, taking away tracks. I think I had like a bunch of stuff stacked up on this around this sample, and I was like, I think I ended up with just the sample, and I think like a bass, and like some chaining off the actual sample, like a frequencies inside the sample to like give it like a punch, but not too much punch. Like this obviously feels kind of flat in the mix, but like I think that's where it gets a lot of its. I mean, for me, I like really enjoy how kind of flat this song feels, especially in the scope of like there's a lyrical experience going on. I found hip hop when I was a senior in high school with one of my white friends who introduced me to this strange new world. My stepdad had a lot of these CDs and a lot of like classic rock stuff. It's like a white dude, but like, he also had a lot of hip hop. And I remember as a kid, everyone was like, hip hop's dumb, stupid. And I was like, yeah, makes sense. Doesn't have the culture that emo does or classic rock does, And I remember I heard Wu-Tang Ain't Nothing to Fuck With. I think I heard that for the first time, like my brain exploded. Like turned to mush. I was like, I have been missing out, and now I have to live with that. I think that was like one of my first thoughts. Like you fucked up. You fucked up. Yeah, I didn't actually start producing until maybe 2 or 3 years later, but I think I've been producing for like 4 years. I think once I like found out that like, because I was like a vocalist for like all that time that I was listening, and I'd spent a lot of time learning about my voice and like where it could go and what it could be. And I think I found out about hip hop, and I was like, this is the culmination of all that. This is like an actual straight shot that I can use to pivot everything else that I've got going for me. Like from Longmeadow, Mass. It's like a suburb in Western Massachusetts. I grew up around a lot of white kids, and I got a lot of white kid vibes from that space. Currently live in Northampton, Massachusetts, which is a lot of the same flavor notes with I don't know, more schools, I guess. Thanks Magz FM for having me on your show. Father Hotep, Magz FM, peace.